Let's welcome 2021 with an as we take a look at Good Smile's pop-up parade figure of the explosive arch wizard Megumin from KonoSuba. The figure comes in a window type packaging and there's really no box art. The front is plain and shows the name of Megumin. The sides show the pop-up parade logo, while the back shows information about Good Smile. This type of packaging benefits collectors who prefer to keep their figures unopened. Since it is windowed, you can already display the figure in its entirety without having to open it. The figure is manufactured by Good Smile in collaboration with Max Factory, and it is part of their pop-up parade line of figures. Their mission is to produce quality figures at the price point of just 3,900 yen, as well as to speed up the release of each figure. The figures are released at a mere 4 months after the pre-order period, whereas typically it would take around 6 months to a year. The stand is pretty simple, just a translucent piece of plastic that has 2 holes for plugging in Megumin's foot. The staff is also nice, and to mimic the red floating orb, there's this transparent piece of plastic that connects the orb to the staff. If you look from afar, it can actually look like the orb is floating. Her hat is definitely my favorite part of the figure. The piece is very anime accurate with the buttons for the eyes and the triangle things for the mouth. The hat also has grooves underneath so that it can be placed securely on Megumin's head. This figure of Megumin shows her with a gentle smile that lets you know you can always depend on her. She is missing her eye patch, but the pose of her hands gives a hint about her chunibyo tendencies. It's not one of her dynamic explosion poses, but I really like it. Assembly is quite straightforward, you just have to plug her feet into the base. You have to be careful when putting the staff in her hand. It's really only locked into position by her thumb, so don't bend her thumb too far when you try to put her staff on. Megumin is around 18 centimeters in height, so this would be close to a 1/10 scale figure. Given that this isn't really a scale figure, the colors are just plain and lacks any sort of shading, but the paintwork is very good. They are all within the lines and there are no obvious mistakes anywhere. If I could ask for one thing, I wish that they would have included her cat Chomosuke. There are only a few colors used on the figure. There's red for the majority of her clothes as well as accents on the hat. Then there's 2 shades of yellow for the accent on her clothes, cape, hat, as well as her boots. Then finally, there's a lot of brown that was used for her hair, her hat, cape, and belt. There's white for the wrapping around her staff and leg, but the white wrapping on her leg is quite darker and almost gray. Her hair sculpt is quite nice and you can actually display her without the hat. I like the fact that they give you an option to remove her hat. She looks really cute without it. Although be aware that there is a seam line that goes through her hair, but it's really only visible when you are looking at her from the top. Her face is sculpted quite well and her red eyes are painted really nice. They also included her choker with a buckle painted in silver. There's another seam line on her elbow. It was sort of made to look like a fold because of the elbow bend. This works on the top side of her arm, but the line actually goes around to the bottom of her elbow as well. So why did I buy this? Well, I really wanted a figure of Megumin, and if you know anything about her, you know that the price of her figures are really expensive. At the time of this video, her Nendoroids are already priced at 2 or even 3 times their original price. Owing to Good Smile's excellent reputation in making figures, I decided to jump in and try their pop-up parade line. Being my first figure in the line, I came into this without really knowing what to expect regarding the quality. For the price, the only bad thing I can really say about it is that there were seam lines on her hat and elbows. At this price range, I wasn't expecting the paint to be all within the lines, but I was pleasantly surprised that there was only one painting error that I could see. My Megumin's right hand yellow sleeve has some red paint. So, would I recommend this figure? If you're a collector on a budget and a fan of Megumin or KonoSuba in general, then this is a no-brainer. Megumin is the most well-loved out of the 4 main characters of the series, and the price of her figures have always skyrocketed. Now is the chance to buy her at retail price. For those who aren't familiar with the show or light novels, let me just tell you that Megumin is a very adorable character. There are already rumors that the 3rd season of the anime is coming this 2021, and by the time that comes out, then the KonoSuba figures will be massively overpriced again as the demand increases. So I recommend that you buy it now. That wraps it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please hit that like button, comment down below for any questions and thoughts you might have, and subscribe to watch more content like this in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.